Real Madrid. So, fun fact, Real Madrid didn't just slap a crown on their logo to look fancy. That crown means they are actual royalty, like certified by an actual king. Back in 1920, the Spanish king Alfonso XIII gave the club his official blessing, which meant they could call themselves Real, which is Spanish for royal, plus they could rock a crown in their logo. That alone is kinda crazy when you think about it. A football club literally getting royal approval. But here's the twist. When Spain became a republic in the 1930s, Real Madrid had to ditch the crown. Instead, they added a purple diagonal stripe to the crest, symbolizing the Kingdom of Castile. Then, when Franco came to power in the 1940s, the crown came back and stayed. So that logo isn't just fancy, it's political history on a shirt. Barcelona. Barcelona's crest looks like a busy patchwork at first glance, but it's all deliberate. The top left corner, that red cross on white, is the cross of St. George, who's the patron saint of Catalonia. Right next to it, see the yellow and red stripes? That's the Senyora, the Catalan flag. So from the start, the logo is saying, we're Catalan before anything else. In the middle, you've got the FCB initials, and then down at the bottom is where you find the football and those iconic blue and red stripes. That part's all about the club itself, its colors and the game it represents. There's some debate around why they chose blue and red. One theory links it to a Swiss club the founder admired, another says it matched their school colors. Either way, it stuck and became iconic. Manchester United. The devil on Manchester United's logo isn't just for edge, it's got an actual backstory. They were initially Newton Heath, and their early logos had trains and shields, but once they became Manchester United in 1902, they started reflecting more of the city. That ship you see in the top half of the logo is not about football, it's about trade. Manchester used to be a massive hub, and the ship represents that commercial legacy. But it's the devil that's the twist. In the 1960s, Sir Matt Busby liked the sound of Salford Rugby Club, a local rugby team's nickname, the Red Devils. And it stuck. The club started using it more in media, and eventually, the devil made its way onto the crest around 1970 and formally in 1975. Since then, it's been part of their identity. You wouldn't think a team with a devil in its crest would be one of the most globally supported clubs in the world, but that's Man United. Their logo is a mix of history and marketing genius. Manchester City. City's logo got a complete refresh in 2016, and while it looks pretty simple, there's actually a lot packed into it. Start with the ship in the middle. That's a reference to the Manchester Ship Canal, which helped turn the city into a major industrial player back in the day. Then you've got the red rose. That's from Lancashire, the historic county Manchester belongs to. And those three blue lines underneath the ship? They represent the three rivers running through the city, the Irwell, Irk, and Medlock. They also brought back the circular shape, which fans preferred over the previous eagle and star design. That old logo never really clicked with supporters. This one feels more grounded. So even though it looks modern and minimal, it's not shallow. It's a clean summary of Manchester's roots, put together with intention. Aston Villa. Aston Villa's logo has changed over the years, but one thing has always stayed, the lion. And that's not just a generic symbol. It actually comes from the Royal Banner of Scotland. Why Scotland? Well, because one of Villa's founders, William McGregor, was Scottish, and he also helped start the Football League. Then you've got the star above the lion that represents their 1982 European Cup win. Villa hasn't won a ton of European trophies, but they make sure no one forgets that one. Fair enough. For a while, their logo also included the word prepared. It was their motto, but it's gone in the latest version, and the overall look is cleaner now. Arsenal. You don't need to be a history buff to know about the cannon on Arsenal's logo, but it actually goes deeper than just cool war imagery. Arsenal was originally formed by munitions workers in Woolwich, southeast London, back in 1886. And the cannon was their literal day job. They made weapons. So when they built a football team, the identity followed naturally. Even after the club moved north to Highbury in 1913, the cannon stuck around. It's changed direction a few times and some versions were more detailed than others. But the basic message has always stayed the same: strength, tradition, and a link to the club's roots. The current version is a lot cleaner than the older ones. It's modern, but still proudly shows the cannon. and the use of gold in the design gives it that sense of polish without overdoing it. Liverpool. At first glance, Liverpool's logo is about the liver bird, the mythical creature in the middle. It's been on the city's coat of arms for centuries, and Liverpool FC basically claimed it as their own symbol when they adopted it in the 1900s. But the real emotional weight sits just outside the logo, those two eternal flames. They flank the crest as a tribute to the 97 fans who lost their lives in the Hillsborough disaster in 1989. It's also worth noting how the club's motto, "You'll never walk alone," is often paired with the logo, even when it's not printed on it, because the message is inseparable from the club's identity. Together, the logo, the flames, and the anthem tell a story of pride and resilience. Juventus. When Juventus redesigned their logo in 2017, most people didn't know what to think. The old crest had stripes, a bull, and a crown, real traditional stuff. But the new logo has just a stylized J that felt like something off a high-end fashion label, not a football kit. But that was the point. Juventus weren't just updating their logo, they were rebranding their entire identity. The club's chairman said the idea was to make Juventus stand for more than football, something that could live on sneakers, events, even lifestyle projects. They wanted global reach, not just Serie A dominance. The move caused a ton of backlash at first, especially from traditionalists, but a few years on, and it's clear they knew what they were doing. That J became instantly recognizable. Roma. Roma's logo looks like something out of a history book, and honestly, that's exactly the point. Right in the middle, you've got the image of a she-wolf nursing two human babies. It's not random. That's Romulus and Remus, the legendary twins who, according to Roman mythology, founded the city of Rome. The story behind that is brutal. The twins were abandoned as infants, taken in by a she-wolf, and raised in the wild. Eventually, Romulus kills his brother and goes on to build Rome. It's not exactly wholesome, but it's iconic. And Roma, being the club of the capital, embraced that myth from the start. The Lupa Capitolina and ASR monogram were part of Roma's original 1927 logo and appeared in various forms over the decades. In 2013, under American owner James Pallotta, the club replaced the ASR with Roma in bold letters to appeal to a global audience, an unpopular move among fans. In 2020, the Friedkin family brought back the ASR in a sleeker style, inspired by the 1934 version, updating the shield with a sharper silhouette and a yellow border for a more modern feel. Through every redesign, one thing has never changed: their identity. Roma isn't just a club, it's the soul of the eternal city, and the logo makes damn sure you never forget it. Hey, if you've been enjoying this so far, why don't you click that like button and subscribe so you don't miss more amazing videos like this. So, next up, AC Milan. AC Milan's logo might be one of the cleanest in the game, but don't let that simplicity fool you. There's a lot going on. For starters, the red cross on a white background is the flag of Milan itself. So right away, the logo tells you where this club's roots are planted. The red and black colors have been Milan's identity since the club was founded in 1899. According to one of the founders, red symbolized the fire in the team's blood, and black stood for the fear they'd strike in opponents. That sounds dramatic, sure, but it fits the club's personality. You'll also notice the oval shape and the letters ACM at the top. That's Associazione Calcio Milan, their full name. And of course, 1899 at the bottom. Milan hasn't messed with their logo much over the years, and honestly, they haven't needed to. When something works that well, you don't mess with it. Bayer Leverkusen. Leverkusen's logo is one of the few in Europe that tells you straight up, this club was born from a company. You've got the word Bayer front and center, and yeah, that's the pharmaceutical giant. Aspirin Bayer. Back in 1904, a group of factory workers from the company started a sports club, and football eventually became part of it. You've got those two red lions holding the crest, and they've been part of the identity since the 80s. Around the circle, you'll see 1904, the year the club was founded. And that circular logo with Bayer written in a cross is actually the company's trademark, called the Bayer Cross. It's not just branding, it's legacy. The logo doesn't try to be something it's not. It wears its industrial heritage like a badge of honor, literally. Bayern Munich. You know a logo is iconic when people can recognize it without even knowing what it means. Bayern's logo is a perfect example. That red, blue, and white circle is instantly recognizable. But the pattern in the middle, those blue and white diamonds, that's the key. They come from the Bavarian flag. Bayern might be Germany's biggest club, but they've never let go of their regional identity. That pattern is called the lozenge, and it's been part of Bavaria's coat of arms for centuries. The outer ring usually says FC Bayern München, simple as that. The club's gone through a bunch of visual tweaks over the decades, but the diamonds have always stayed. Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund's logo is minimal but mighty. BVB's logo is about as stripped down as you'll find in European football. It's simple, a big yellow circle, BVB up top, and 09 at the bottom. That's it. But don't mistake simple for shallow. Every piece of that logo means something. BVB stands for Ballspielverein Borussia, which is just German for Borussia Ball Games Club. It sounds long, but it's basically saying, we're here to play ball. The 09 is even more direct. It's simply 1909, the year the club was founded. But what really makes it stick is the yellow and black. That color combo is electric. It's aggressive, it stands out, and it fits the club's whole identity. Ajax. Ajax's logo is a masterpiece in minimalism. That abstract head in the middle of their logo is supposed to be Ajax, the Greek hero the club is named after. But here's the twist, the entire image is made up of 11 lines. One for each player on a football team. That was a redesign done in 1990 though. The old logo had a more traditional drawing of Ajax. The outer ring still keeps the club's full name, Amsterdamse Football Club Ajax. The club originally wore entirely black with a red ribbon to represent Amsterdam's coat of arms, but then changed to a red stripe over white in 1911 to avoid color clashes. Celtic. Celtic's crest is so clean it almost feels under-designed until you realize how much meaning is packed into that one image. At the center is the four-leaf clover, which is often confused with the shamrock, which has 3 leaves. Both symbolize Irish roots, but the shamrock is traditionally more symbolic in Irish history. That said, the use of a 4-leaf clover still represents Irishness and luck, and that's exactly what Celtic was built on. The team was founded in Glasgow in 1887 by Irish immigrants to help alleviate poverty in the community. The crest's green and white palette, paired with that lucky clover, speaks to hope and heritage. It's always been green and white, no animals, no shields, and no swords. Just the 4-leaf clover and the full name of the club circling it, the Celtic Football Club with the year 1888. Some versions leave the off, but either way, it keeps that original feel. And that's it on the hidden meanings behind these club logos. If you made it this far, you clearly love football as much as I do. So drop a like, hit subscribe, and let me know which logo you think has the wildest backstory. Catch you in the next one.